HarperCollins presents Taken by Lisa Stone, read by Bronwen Price. 1. It was not a safe place for a young girl. Colin Weaver looked through the window of his third-floor flat at the children's play area below. She was there, as she was most nights after school, Leila Smith, 8 years old, alone and vulnerable. He had a good view from up here, apart from the dirt on the outside of the glass, which he couldn't clean. Tenants could no longer open their windows wide enough to clean the outside, since the council had fitted cable restrictors after a child had fallen from the 7th floor and died. Sad indeed, but shouldn't the parents have been keeping watch on their child? That was the problem with parents today, Colin thought. Not for the first time, as he watched Leila gently rocking on the swing. Too many absent fathers and self-centred mothers, oblivious to the needs of their children. Not like his mother, he reflected grimly. She'd wanted to know exactly where he was and what he was doing every minute of the day, until he couldn't stand it any longer and had left 10 years ago, age 38. As he watched Leila, the sun began to set behind the block of high-rise flats, its shadow falling across the play area and casting another corridor of gloom. As if there wasn't enough gloom here already. Grey tower blocks and rooftops, cables strung between pylons, unemployment, and the steady rumble of the city line reminding residents that a better life lay a train ride away. Children used the play area on the Hawthorn Estate during daylight hours. It was a small oasis of fun, laughter and innocence in an otherwise bleak and depressing landscape. But once darkness fell, it was a different matter, and most children knew they had to return home straight away. Apart from Leila. She was there long after the other children had gone because her mother didn't give a damn. As Colin watched, the sun continued its descent until darkness fell. The only child left in the play area was Leila. Her mother, Kelsey Smith, had never told her she needed to be home so she was safe and warm. She didn't care, and Colin knew it was doubtful she even noticed when her child was missing, since she was so often off her head on drink and drugs or entertaining clients. That was Kelsey. Nearly everyone on the estate knew about Kelsey and that she wasn't fit to be a mother. If something happened to her child, it would be her fault. Leila was still gently rocking on the swing, her silhouette just visible in the small light coming from the lamplight, dimmed by the council to save electricity. Rocking herself was probably the only comfort the poor child had, for there'd been none at home, Colin thought bitterly. She was pretty, with dark hair and big round eyes, but those eyes had seen more than they should for a child her age, which gave her a hard, streetwise look. Colin found this very sad. Children should be innocent for as long as possible. Leila and her prostitute mother lived in the flat directly above Colin's. He had to listen to their comings and goings, so he knew when they were in or out, when Kelsey was entertaining clients, and when Leila was left home alone. He heard her crying, and her mother losing her temper and shouting at her for not cleaning the flat, shopping or cooking. The child was only 8, for Christ's sake. That bloody mother needed to be taught a lesson. To his shame, Colin had fancied Kelsey when she'd first moved in, before he'd found out what she was really like. Now he was disgusted with her, and with himself for making such a gross error of judgment. The woman was all tits and tattoos, flashing her eyes with a come-on expression at every bloke she passed. It was probably her tactics that had fooled him at the start, he thought. He'd be the first to admit he was ignorant when it came to women, shy, having only his mother as an example. But then he'd come to his senses and realised what she was like, and felt sorry for the child. What the social services were doing leaving Leila with her mother, Colin had no idea. Her older kids, 4 in all, had been taken into care and then adopted years ago. Probably for the best.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?